Hey guys, and welcome back. Um, in this video I want to assemble the movement control again after the last video where I took it apart. So the place we want to start off in is the new function we made here, handle directional movement. And let's go into that and see how to fix this and what we actually want to do here. What We have a function called, or it's a macro called is, maybe I call it check alignment. This one, it's saying are we in cover or are we in hanging braced. So we can actually use the same check, because we are only interested in doing something in here if we are in either of these two states here. So we want to make a branch. Just going to put it out here for a moment, and then I'm going to move it in place shortly. Okay, so we want to make something, say, okay, depending on if we are emerged or maybe, well, if we are emerged and not holding down the movement, the correct movement key, then we want to actually return. So I think we maybe have a function or a macro called is emerged. No, we have one called is emerging. Let's go to this like that. This one. Okay, we're gonna make a similar one. It's an easy way to get to this other than typing this one. Yeah. Okay, I'm then gonna duplicate this one and call it is emerged, and say this will return this value is emerged, and say yes. Okay, so is emerging should say is emerging. Okay, maybe we didn't make this. Maybe this is something I may have done this off video for some reason, because okay, anyway, we now have two macros called is emerging and one is called is emerged, and all they do basically is just to check the state here and return true or false. So off from the false here should check alignment. So let's see, if we should check alignment, then we want to start off by saying, okay, are we emerged? So if we are fully emerged, okay, then we want to do something. Then we want to ask, okay, should we return to cover? Okay, I'm just going to put it out here just for a moment here. Put a branch here. I don't know if this is going to be a branch actually. I'm just going to make a comment here. Because that's the logic that's gonna follow this. Just gonna outline this, what I'm trying to say here. And if we're not emerged, then we don't want to do anything actually. So let's see if no, wait a minute. This one needs to say, because if we are, okay, sorry, if we are in cover or hanging braced, and in this case we are actually in none of these, then we want to do this. Okay? Okay, now it makes sense. Sorry. All these true false, they're driving me crazy. But what we have all this handle forward right movement stuff here, we want to still handle that. So in case we are in one of these two states, we want to still make that stuff here. So I think we have a check, the original check here. We can just use this. Let's see. We have something about is cover. This is already handled now. So all we need is actually this part from the original handle forward method. I'm just going to move that down here and make it a little bit closer. Oops. Like that. And so that should go up here. And well, okay, like that. So I think now we're ready to cut this and remove this and then paste it here. And let's zoom out and move this down and get this in position. Okay, so this is going to be the skeleton of this. Yeah. And let's also connect up this one we just disconnected a moment ago, because we are not going to worry about this anymore. So we can get rid of that, but we still need to handle the forward movement, and it needs to go into from the false into this one. And what we want to get here is actually the right the value of the right movement value. So instead of the axis value, we can get this from a built-in function called get move right. Like that. And of the true part, okay, so this is where it gets interesting, because there's going to be a lot of stuff coming here. So I'm gonna drag one up here and add a reroute node, and I'm gonna make a comment around this and say this is the first person handling stuff. It's gonna come in here. Okay, so maybe I should have done the same here. Add a reroute node. So let's make the return to cover first. Okay, so first of all, when we are fully immersed, and then we want to check, okay, are we still holding down our movement key? So let's see. Let's see, I'm just gonna check something. Hold on. Yeah, we want to make a few macros here. Okay, so yeah, we're going to make a few macros to make this easier to look at. So we are going to make one called get move, first get the move forward, and because I'm going to make a few copies, we have get move right. So these two functions are built in Unreal Engine functions that tells us basically the same as these two axis values coming in here. So it's these returning -1, 0, or 1, depending on if you're holding down a key or not. And we're going to make check to say, okay, if you are, oops, not less than, if you are equal to 0, then we are not moving. Okay, so I'm just gonna drag it into something, okay, because that's gonna make it easier. So when I make a macro, then I can disconnect this one. See, that's just a nice trick to get that one because I'm lazy. Okay, and this macro we're gonna call what is it? We're gonna call is moving. Is moving forward. So actually this should say, okay, different from 0. Okay, and I want to make a similar one called is moving right. So these two macros are actually just making it easier for me myself to see if to read the code. So that's all it's gonna do. I just like to have this instead of making all these comparisons and all that stuff. So because the next check we want to make here, I want to make a check here, and that check is going to say if you are moving forward and if you're not moving forward, and let's see, so if you're not moving forward and you are not moving right, and we are not moving at all actually. But if our last movement direction, if we remember that we have a variable getting set, where is it? Oh, it's the right one here. Or is it not? Oh, it's been set inside the handle movement first person thingy. That's where it's getting set. Okay. So here, so we updated from that function. Okay. But remember that hopefully that value. So we're gonna check if last movement direction, if that is greater than 0. Sorry, less than 0. So all of these things we are going to check. Okay. No. Okay. Yes. Right. So that means we need to have an AND here. Like that. So if all of these are true, then we should return, and this is, let's see, this is when it's less than 0. Let me think. Then this is probably, I'm just going to turn this around in my head. Then this is right. Yeah. And we need to return to the right. Okay. Otherwise, if I'm mistaken, then I'm just going to switch it. So we're going to play a montage to play this back. backwards, so we return again. So get my anim instance, and I don't think I'm gonna make everything in this video because otherwise it's gonna take too long. So just gonna make out the skeleton for this. So right now we're just gonna leave this blank because what I need to do is to make a similar check down here and check the other direction. And so we can copy all of this and say, okay, if we are not moving forward and we are not moving right, but our last direction was greater than 0, then we want to do the same here, play a montage back. So duplicate this, and that should be it, I think. In any way, once we leave the motion back, then we want to return to our is emerging state, so we can fall back from cover. Update. Okay, like that, is emerging. So although it's called is emerging, we should maybe call this is hiding, make a new one and call that is hiding to make it more clear, but we can just use this one because the logic works kind of around this. So I don't think I'm gonna need all of this anymore. Nope. So I think that concludes this video this time. It's not working right now, I believe, because we are not really calling anything, but it does compile, and that means that we need to continue. Oh, it does actually. It can move right now, but it cannot move inside first person. So yeah, something did actually work. Okay, if you quickly just notice something. Okay, so I'm holding down my right key now, and if you look at the corner at the top, it says left corner, it says is emerged. Okay, so as soon as I release this one, it says is emerging. So it is now detecting that we want to go back again, but we don't have the montage to play, and so we need to fix that as well. So, but we're going to do that in the next video. So thank you for watching, and sorry if this was a bit confusing. It is kind of confusing for me myself, as you can maybe tell. So just as always, feel free to ask me questions on my channel. I will answer as fast as I can. And well, thank you for watching, and see you in the next. Bye.